Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I have some fun stamping with you tonight. This is my regular weekly broadcast, 7 p.m. Central Time on Thursdays, and I am leaving on Saturday morning for the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. So there is a lot going on around here, but you know, you guys are why I'm on that boat. It's my customers, it's my team members, it's all the people who support me in various and sundry ways that help me to get on that boat and earn that cruise. So definitely not going to neglect you guys, even though I'm in the midst of packing and getting ready. I've been pushing lots of things that were heading out the door with the mail today. Lots of packages. Cards with a Twist is in the mail. Paper shares are in the mail. Yeah, lots going. So hello, Mary and Karen. Thank you for joining me from Texas and Iowa. Yay. Hey, Tasha, I'm glad you're here. I have some fun stamping for you tonight because I'm going to be sharing a free class that you can get when you purchase with my host code while I'm away. Now, I don't leave till Saturday. If you want to purchase today, that's fine. I'm going to be honoring this host code through through Memorial Day, because that's when we get back. And so through the end of this month, when you order with this host code, you'll get a free card class in the mail. I do have actually a second card class next week that you can also earn for free. So this one you can earn with a $35 order, and then I have a second one, and if you top up your order to $50, you can earn the second one for free. So lots of fun card kits, classes by mail. You get the PDF tutorials along with that. So I am featuring Cheerful Daisies again. So just a review, these are the cards with a twist that I just sent out the door, and this was 2 each of 4 designs. And these really, hey Roz, I'm glad you're here. These really focus on the designer series paper, and everybody got a half package of designer series paper with this class by mail. Now, interestingly enough, I like to play with my shipping and my packaging and stuff. I actually figured out a way to send this in 12 by 12 format, and that worked really well. The biggest reason for that, usually I just cut the paper down the middle and send it like that, and that's pretty easy for shipping. But for this particular class, let me go back to these. There's a piece of designer series paper where you cut these little panels, and if they're like pre-cut for you. There was no way I could cut this down the middle and get you everything you needed. So I got a little bit creative with my shipping and my packaging and was able to send 12 by 12 sheets with this class by mail. So I am still focusing on Cheerful Daisies. And again, this is my host code that when you purchase at StampinUp.com, you don't even have to be, my website, my personal Stampin' Up! Website is shopwithcandy.com. But either way you go, you can put this host code in and it will attach you to this free class by mail. So let me show you what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be using Cheerful Daisies bundle, but this time we're going to focus on some of the new colors. And we're going to be using stamps, ink, paper, and dies. We're not going to use any designer series paper. Hey, Margaret, I'm glad you're here with me. So this is the way your card packet will come. And there are 3 cards in here. And we're going to go spring, summer, and fall. And I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do. So let's go with card packet number 1, which features Lemon Lolly. I do love this color. It's super pretty. It's super fun. I love it. And this is a photopolymer stamp set. So I'm going to be using my little mat here, my handy dandy foam mat. You know, when you use your cling rubber stamps, they already have effectively a piece of foam in there. And that's why you don't need this when you are using the the cling rubber stamps, or what we used to call red rubber stamps. But when you're using the photopolymer, you don't have any cushion, you know? The stamp is right there and there's nothing underneath it. Now I'm using Blueberry Bushel. You could use any dark cardstock. You could even use black and it would be fine. And you made my day. I just realized I put it a little bit too far over because I need room. I'm going to put a bow there. So let me go back and try this again. Thankfully, we have two sides to our cardstock. And it's fabulous, fabulous cardstock. Haha, I got it down the middle. Okay, so let me go ahead and clean this stamp so that when I finish tonight, I can upload this to YouTube and not have too big a mess. Okay, now comes the fun. So we are going to take, I'm also featuring, this is what I'm using in my Cards with a Twist for this month, is these Countryside Corners dies. I like them a lot. And then I'm also going to give you one of these. Now, this is part of the Cheerful Daisies, and we are going to use some sponge daubers with this to make it the color we want. Now, having said that, we could just go with this, and it looks pretty cool. But I wanted to add some color, so that's what we're going to do. Now, when you get these, you'll find that there are pieces that will just pop out with your die cutting machine, and there's pieces that will stay in. And to be honest with you, I like it with them in and I like it with them out. So I don't think there's a right and a wrong here. I think on this one, I'm going to punch these out. I'm going to leave the little ones in the center. I'm going to leave those right there. And what that's going to do for me is it's going to give me a little bit more of the color when I start adding color with the sponge daubers. Hi, Pam. I'm glad you are here. So those are all intact. These are kind of a bit of this and a bit of that. So I think I'll probably, for consistency's sake, just punch them all through. And you can see my take your pick tool is not handy, and I'm just kind of going with what I got here. Okay, so I'm just going to take my sponge daubers, and I'm taking Lemon Lolly because I am using Lemon Lolly cardstock. And I'm just going to add, these come 5 to a package. I love them because they just go right on your finger. They're like little finger puppets. And I'm just going to add color to the center of my daisies, just like a real daisy. And if you go back and just keep adding color, you'll build the color. This is a really good way to add color. You can also use this same method. If you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you have been collecting those nice little ink spots, and you can do this with your ink spots as well. So it's a great way to add color. So there is the center of my daisies, so you can see how they're going to really pop. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of green to my, hey Pat, I am glad you are here. And I'm seeing a few, what do you call it, comments, but not all of them, so bear with me. So this is Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm just going to go right over on top of these leaves. And one of the things I like about the sponge daubers is you can have a fair bit of control. Now I'm just going to put my finger there so it doesn't get on that, just to block a little bit of the access of the color there. And that's going to be it. So like I said, these come in a package of 5. They're uninked, they're clear, and you can clean them and use them over and over again. I tend to like one for all my greens, one for all my yellows, and just kind of clear them like this on my mat in between. But they'll last you for a long time. I think they're $6 or $7. They may have gone up to $8, but they're very affordable. And like I said, you get 5 in a package. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Now this has been run through with the Basic Textures embossing folder. Now this is a set of 3 embossing folders that's in our online exclusives. And I actually like the debossed and the embossed side, but I'm going to go ahead and use the embossed side. And I'm going to add just a little bit. Actually, I need to put this down first. So this is Azure Afternoon. Doesn't it look pretty with this lemon lolly? I really, really like this very fresh color combo. And this is my idea of a kind of a spring card. But to be honest, you could use this any time of year. It's really just kind of a very fresh color scheme. And I think as we kind of think about that in the springtime as things being very fresh. And I'm just putting a wee bit of liquid glue so that I can pop this on here and voila. You really don't need much else. I mean, that makes a lot of impact right there. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to pop this whole panel up on dimensionals to give this a little bit of lift and to make it a little bit like a painting. So Karen, I'm glad you like these colors and raws as well. I think they're really lovely. You know, Stampin' Up, when they do these color refreshes, there's a lot of purpose in what they're doing. And I think in particular, this lemon lolly really fills a gap for us. We may have not realized we had a gap, but this, to me, this is like a true yellow. It has a lot of white in it. It's not an orangey yellow. It's not a pinky yellow. It's just a clear, really clear yellow. Now you see, this is what you don't want to do. Lord have mercy. I'll address that later. Now you can see some of my many bad habits because I'm always in a hurry. Pat's on here. She's laughing. She's one of my studio helpers and she knows. But you would be amazed at how clear my studio is right now. I have been working so hard. You know, I can rock a deadline. And when I'm going out of town, we always have a super clean house before we leave. The fridge is cleared out, and I say super clean. Our housekeeper's actually going to be here before we get home, and she's going to polish all the floors because there won't be anybody here to be in her way. But I do like to have fresh sheets on the bed, a clear refrigerator. You know, you just don't want to come home to a dirty house. And I feel the same way with my studio. It's the one time that I will really, really get after it with getting my studio really cleaned up. Of course, I've got swaps I've been making as well and all kinds of fun things. Okay, so now we're going to add a little bit more. Look at this pop of pumpkin pie. What do you think? A little pop of pumpkin pie. I think it looks really good. I am going to flag this end like so, just to give it a little bit of, oopsie, a little bit of oomph. That wasn't very good. Let's try that again. Okay, that's better. And I'm actually, because this is popped up, I'm just going to lay this flat like that. You made my day. Yeah, Pat's saying she needs pictures to believe my studio. Yeah, because by the time you get here, it'll be a wreck again. But, you know. Because when I get here, Pat usually comes on Wednesdays. When I get here, I get home on, I think we get home in the wee hours of Monday morning, like 1 in the morning. And I will be back in my studio that day. Guarantee you, having been on, I'll be working through a little jet lag, but this is Lemon Lime Twist ribbon. Comes in a combo with Petal Pink. This is part of the Zoo Crew. Having been on this trip with all my Stampin' Up! Friends, oh my gosh, you know, my head's going to be buzzing. I'm going to have 26 card swaps 25, sorry. So you can sign up for swaps if you want. It's optional, but a lot of us do. So I signed up for the card swap, which is 25. Now we turn in 26 because there's one for the board. And that is so that there's a big display board, and we only, we get 26 back, but there's about 300 of us on the trip. And so that way we get to see all the swaps, even the ones that we didn't get. And so I'm going to be buzzing with creative ideas. Sorry, I had to go get my glue dots. And then there's also a 3D swap. Now, The first time I went on one of these incentive trips, I didn't sign up for the 3D swap and I could have kicked myself. I mean, the ideas were amazing. And I have to say, especially the European demonstrators, man, they come up with some amazing 3D ideas. So I decided that I would do it from then on out, which I have. However, sometimes suitcase space, some of these ladies, I'm thinking, what were you thinking, sweetheart? I have to cart this home. Okay, let's see. I'm jabbering. These are the little embellishments I'm using, and I think these are the ones. Yeah, these are the ones in my cards with a twist this month too. So these are called Tinsel Gems 4-pack. There's a 3-pack and a 4-pack. So the 4-pack you get 4 colors. The 3-pack you get 3 colors. Okay. Now Elaine says that she says the audio is breaking up. Let's see. Hopefully, can you hear me now? You know, I'm getting that same funky thing on my computer where it wants to give me a black screen. I've had that the last several times with Facebook Live, which I think it's a Facebook Live thing. It's not my computer, it's a Facebook Live thing. So hopefully you can hear me. I will speak up a little bit more. Now I'm going to take 3 of these guys here. And like I said, I can't find my take your pick tool. So, okay, so audio's fine, and Iowa and Pat can hear it. Okay. Okay. And now I can see comments again. Okay. So there is 1 there, and let's go with 2 here. I tend to, the rule of thumb with your embellishments is you want them in odd numbers. If you try to do them in even numbers, your mind automatically wants to line them up. So there's card number 1. This is my idea of a spring daisies card, real fresh colors. And like I said, this is one of the card kits you can get. You get this whole set of cards and a class by mail when you place a $35 order using, here it is, my host code. So this is through Memorial Day. I do have a second set of cards that I'm going to send you if you top your order up to $50. You'll have to stay tuned because that video is going to be shared next Thursday. I'm going to be in Norway, but I have a video ready to roll for you to show you how to do those cards, and those will also be available for you free with purchase. Okay, let's go to our summer card. And this time we are going to go red, white, and blue. So the only ink pad I'm going to use on this is Blueberry Bushel. This is one of our returning colors. Hey, Sherry and Alice, I'm glad you're here. Kim, great to see you. Thank you so much for sharing. Just a reminder that anytime you comment here, your name goes into the drawing for the week. So Jennifer is my admin on here, and she does a fabulous job of keeping track of everyone who comments and doing the drawings and mailing the prizes for you. So kudos to Jen. Let's see. It's giving me a black screen again. I don't know what the deal is with this Facebook thing. Ay. Okay. Here we go. Now, this is another embossing folder. This is the stripes and splatters. There's 2, and these you can use in your mini cut and emboss machine. So I wanted to do red, white, and blue, and this is a smoky slate card base. This is cherry cobbler, and this is blueberry bushel. Now, one of the things I do prefer when I'm putting down a dry embossed piece of cardstock that's got pretty heavy embossing on it, I'm getting adhesive everywhere, is to use my my liquid glue versus the seal. Sometimes the seal will snag on the little on the bumps, the indentures and everything. Indentations, not indentures. Wrong word. Okay, so we are going to do a little red, white, and blue daisy action here. So looky here. I've got cherry cobbler here. I've got real red here. I like the combination of these 2 reds. Cherry cobbler is deeper and darker, and Real Red is a little bit more of a clear, true red. And so I like to combine them. Now, again, I'm going to put just a little touch. You know, the key with your liquid glue is a very light touch. Kind of a pet peeve of mine, and maybe one of the reasons I don't use this as much as some people do, is I see people who just splodge it, and it just, you know, you get all of this glue hanging out the edges, and it just, to me, it really kind of marks your project in a way that I just don't like the look. So I tend to use it very sparingly when I use it. Now, these are two different dies that are part of this, the Cheerful Daisies die set, and they are meant to work together. Now, I do need the blueberry bushel again. I'm actually going to shift this time, instead of using the lemon lolly, I'm going to actually use Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to do something I don't typically do, but in order to get it just right, you really do kind of need to put your put your dies together first. Now, you could just use a sponge dauber, but I just used the stamp. So now the other little bit of stamping I have to do for this card is the greeting. So I thought this would be perfect for somebody who has a summer birthday, anybody who has a July birthday or even an August birthday, kind of a whole red, white, and blue option. So let's wishing you the brightest birthday. And yes, Wink of Stella would be lovely on this. I love Wink of Stella on this whole Cheerful Daisies bundle. There's so many things that you just kind of cry out that they want some Wink of Stella. Now, I'm going to actually just stick this down flat. So see, that's just stamp, well, it's not even stamp ink and paper. It's just paper and dies and embossing. It just really highlights what you can do with your stamp and cut and emboss machine. So, okay, so Sherry has an anniversary in August. Wouldn't this be a cute anniversary card too? I think this would also be a really nice card for remembering our military. Anything red, white, and blue. And I don't think any guy saying thank you for your service with a red, white, and blue with a daisy in the middle, I think they would be very happy with this. Now this I am going to pop up on dimensionals. And like I said, this is Cherry Cobbler. This is Real Red. When you do your purchase with my host code and you get your card class in the mail, you do get the PDF tutorials, and that gives you all of your dimensions, it gives you your directions, it gives you color photos, and that way if you want to repeat the exact card, or maybe you want to redo this in different colors, you have all the dimensions and makes it really easy for you to find your way. So there we go with card number 2. So these are really quick and easy cards, but they have a lot of pizzazz. Now I'm going to come back to my tinsel gems. I think I'm just going to have a couple of blues. 1, 2, 2. And let's grab a little one and let's see if maybe I can get it right down there. So that just gives a little bit of texture there. So very quick and easy. Now again, when you get your card class by mail, you get all the die cuts done for you. So there is card number 2. There's spring. And there's summer, so you know that next we're going with fall. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this was to show you the versatility of these daisies. So my third card kit is here, and I'm going very vanilla on the envelope and very vanilla on the inside. Now this time I'm really tapping into this Countryside Corners. Now, like I said earlier, I'm using the dies in my Cards with a Twist this month but I paired them with the Lasting Joy, which is actually part of this suite. But the bundle includes, if you get the bundle, the stamp set's $23. The bundle is $45.95. And what's nice is, you see, these little guys here will cut out. So you can stamp and then cut out all of that. I don't know, it reminds me of like an old-fashioned rug in some ways. In other ways, it's just like a really cool little borders. So lots of fun you can do with that. Now I'm going to take, this time I'm using two of our kind of old favorites, and that is Cherry Cobbler and Pumpkin Pie. These two colors, Pumpkin Pie's been around as long as I've been stamping. I've been a demonstrator 15 years. I think Cherry Cobbler came in a little after that, but it's been around a long time, and I'm pairing it with the new Pecan Pie. So we're doing a fall-looking card. So let's see where we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that I'm stamping this straight. So I'm going to try it out here first. And I'm going to take my Pumpkin Pie. And when I'm using one of these really large, you know, for all intents and purposes, this is a background stamp. It's the size of a background stamp. It would be used as a background, although you could do some other fun things with it. Oh, that's kind of crooked. See how that's going uphill there? I lined it up here, but it's going uphill there. Oh, and you see it's going uphill. So that's going to help me when I go to stamp it. So now, yeah. So Tasha says Allie wants pumpkin pie now. I'm with you, Allie. I adore everything pumpkin. I love pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, of course, pumpkin spice lattes. But, you know, we have to wait a while for that to come back into our world. Now, let's see. I'm stamping from sitting down, which can be a little dangerous, but I'm going to try it. I've got another side to my cardstock. This is a layer of crumb cake, and I'm stamping in pumpkin pie, and let's see how I did. Oh, I think it's pretty straight. It's a tiny bit uphill. Let me try one more time, and I'll decide which one I like best. And this time, I think I better stand up. You know, the thing is, when you're sitting down, you don't have, you need to look over the top of something when you're going to line something up. So let me practice what I preach here. I think this one may be worse than my initial one, but we'll see. We'll do it on both sides and decide which one we like best. Actually, that looks really good. I got a little smear right there, but I think it's good enough for government work, is what my daddy used to say. Now, this is going to go right here on my Cherry Cobbler card base. And, you know, this is going to kind of get me ready. As we're packing for Norway, we are very aware that it's going to be really cold, at least for us Texans. I was looking at the forecast for Bergen, which is one of our stops. I think it's our second port of call. And yeah, it's in the low 40s at night and the kind of low 50s during the day. And it was like 85, 86 degrees here today. So yeah, for us Texans, it's going to be cold. So we are trying to pack accordingly. Now I'm putting a very vanilla card base on the inside, card panel. So this is 5 1/4 by 4 panel. I could do crumb cake or vanilla, either one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some pretty simple stamping on a panel of very vanilla. So these are the things that I've already punched out with the dies, and you can see how they layer up so nicely. Let me get my little foam mat, and what I'm going to do is, oh, I forgot to get the greeting out for this. Okay, let me find my stamp set. Let me clean this. I don't know how I missed this greeting, but I did. So I think this "Oops-a-daisy, so sorry" is really a cute saying. Not only is it cute, but you know, there's times when you just need to kind of say you're sorry, or you're sorry not necessarily about something you did, although that's always appropriate, but sometimes it's you're sorry about what's happened to somebody. So I thought that would be a good one to have on hand. So let's stamp this in pecan pie. So yeah, we've got pecan pie and pumpkin pie. This is definitely a fall card. It has a fall vibe. So oops-a-daisy, so sorry, right there. And then I am going to take my cherry cobbler. Let's clean this stamp. And I need a little bit of paper behind me. Let me grab a piece of scrap. Here we go. Because I don't want to get it on my mat. Now, I've talked to you guys before about the fact you can clean these mats really easily. But what will sometimes happen is if you get ink on here and you haven't cleaned it, it will transfer to your cardstock. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to pop that underneath me because I want to stamp my daisies on here and then also kind of hanging off a little bit. So let's go with, I'm using just the fill-in daisy. So there is a, what do you call it, outline, and there's a fill-in. I'm just going to use the fill-in. Let me clear my decks here a little bit. Yeah, it's a cute saying, isn't it? Oops-a-daisy. You know, I think sometimes even, I know when my kids were growing up, you know, if a kid has messed up on a test, this would be a cute one to give. And I think I'm actually going to go with this one upside down like so. And then, now Elaine's asking me a question. How do we claim them? Oh, so let me tell you. So this is cherry cobbler and this is pecan pie, and I will tell you. So these mats, you can actually just run under water. You can take a wet rag with just water. You can also take a baby wipe. The one thing you need to be mindful of is you need to let this dry completely because it will stay damp until it dries. You just let it air dry. But until it's dry, you don't want to use it because it will be damp and it will get your cardstock damp. So, great question. Here we go. We are going to use pecan pie in the center of these little daisies and make them look like more like a fall, almost this is going to end up looking like a little chrysanthemum, I think. So here we go there. That nice little pop of color. I think it looks good. Now watch what's going to happen because this pecan pie is kind of in the background, but look what happens when I add it to pecan pie. Then it all starts coming together with those really, really warm colors, which is what I'm looking for a fall card. So again, this is the Countryside Corners bundle. And then I'm pairing that with the Cheerful Daisies. And this is my fall daisy card to go with my spring and summer daisy card. And again, this is available as a free card class by mail. You get all 3 card packets in the mail for free when you place a $35 order using my host code between now and Memorial Day. And there, if you top your order up to 50, there is a second set of cards that I'm going to show you next Thursday. And I'm going to be showing you that via video. I won't be here, but I will have the video ready for you. So you'll have video demonstrations. You'll also, with your card kits, you'll also get an email with all of the PDF tutorials so that you have that as well. Okay, so now this is going to go right here. I like it. I like it a lot. And now I am going to, actually, I think I'm going to grab some of those little brass butterflies. These, oh, maybe I'm not. Actually, I take it back. I don't have a set open. So what I'm going to do, look at these. These are fun. So this is another one of our new embellishments, and this is the Neutrals Adhesive Back Sequins. And look at that. That's just going to go really nicely, I think. And I think Do I want the gold, or is this going to be too much orange? Let's see. Let's see what we can come up with. Ah, come on. That might be a little too much orange. Let's see if the brown, that's too much brown. I think the gold is going to pop. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. I think we need a little bit of shine here. A little there. And then a little here. Oops-a-daisy. So sorry. So there is my fall daisy card. And that followed on from my summer daisy card, which followed on from my spring daisy card. I think that's a lot of versatility from one bundle. And again, this really focuses on the stamps and the dies in particular, where my Cards with a Twist last time really focused on designer series paper. So spring daisies, summer daisies, and fall daisies. Super fun. I did incorporate the Countryside Corner die here. And then I also put the Countryside Corner dies here, plus the stamps here. So, okay, Tasha's weighing in. Her favorite is spring. I'd love to hear which one is your favorite. So this one has some of these little blue tinsel gems. And the summer one, I used blue tinsel gems again. And for the fall, I brought in those neutral sequins, and they are all self-adhesive. So, and Elaine loves fall. Linda loves the spring. So keep your votes coming. Don't forget, this is your host code. And with a $35 order, you get them all. You get these kits by mail. And that includes your ribbon and everything. So lots of people love the spring. We have some loving the summer and some loving the fall. Spring is definitely, I think, the winner with fall behind it. And summer. So, if y'all are watching the replay, again, I would love to hear your opinions on these. I really appreciate your feedback. It's so fun. And, okay, so Kim, you like the summer one because you're a summer birthday and your birthday's in July. Isn't that a perfect July birthday card, I think? And these were fun to design. This was actually part of my 35 for 35 event. We made these cards in a classroom setting, and they work really well that way. They're really simple. The dies do the heavy lifting for you, and then there's just a little bit of stamping. So, okay, so Alice loves the red, white, and blue as well. So hopefully this gives you some ideas. I showed you how to use sponge daubers to put some color here, and showed you how to layer up 2 different reds here for a really good display of the red, white, and blue. And then showed you how to use pecan pie and pumpkin pie for a fall look. That is it for tonight. Don't forget that when you comment, your name goes into my drawing. I do a drawing for a prize for each of my videos, and appreciate your comments. Even if it's a hi, I do love it when you tell us where you're from, because it's just fun, part of community building here. And I'm in Texas. And, before I sign off tonight, I'm going to show you something really, really quick. I've been trying to figure out how to show this. Let's see. So Stampin' Up! Has already sent us some amazing gifts for our trip. And this is a sweater that they commissioned for us. So this was made, this is a heavy, heavy wool from, this is made in Norway for us. And this is that beautiful, it's a couple of different shades of blue. And we have on the, on one sleeve, Norlander, since 1927. So this is the company that made it. And of course, on our other sleeve, we have Stampin' Up! So they query this ahead of time to know what our size would be. So this is going with me. It's super, super heavy. Here in San Antonio, I would maybe wear this once a year, but I'm grateful for things like this. When I've gone to England to visit my son and his family, I've worn stuff like this. And when I've gone on like an Alaskan cruise or something, these come in handy if you don't live in a cold area. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous all wool sweater that they have sent us. This is the beautiful card that kind of has just a kind of a look of Norway, kind of bringing in those ideas, and a little congratulations message. We got some Norway-inspired socks. So these are super cute. Thinking about maybe taking some of these for the airplane. They're really, really thick. So again, it's going to be cold while we're there. They also gave us beautiful, beautiful, look at this rolling pin. I mean, this makes those beautiful Norwegian cookies, like a Springerly sugar cookie type thing. But I don't know. I think this is going to be a display. I don't know that I want to mess it up. But it would be fun to make some cookies for an event, especially a Stampin' Up! Event with this rolling pin. And then, like, I would think I might even make a shortbread and use this. And then we have you can see this is kind of our theme. This is the luggage, what do you call it, like a luggage strap. Now, they gave us 4 luggage tacks. They always give us 2 per person because the trip is for 2 people, but those are already on our suitcases, so I can't show you those. But there was also, we always get a pin. So here's the little Norway pin. And then this is a rain slicker, which evidently it rains like all of the time. So this, of course, we have our little Stampin' Up! Logo here. And this is actually a really nice, it's very lightweight slicker, so it'll go over pretty much anything. It has a little bit of shape to it, has a nice hood. So I think this is going to be really nice to use and will fold up easily in the suitcase. I convinced my husband he needed his heaviest coat. Yes, dear, you are going to freeze if you don't take your heavy wool coat. And it takes up a ton of room, so I've convinced him to carry it on the plane because it won't fit into the he said if he puts it in the suitcase, nothing else will fit. But you know what? It's going to be cold, and I don't want to be cold the whole time I'm gone. So, we are wusses. We live in South Central Texas where it just doesn't get cold very much. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your support. And again, this is my host code if you want these 3 card kits for free. Again, there will be a second set. These are free with a $35 order. I have a second set of cards for you next Thursday. And I will send you those cards as well if you top your order up to $50. So that is it. This special free card kits with purchase is good through Memorial Day. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care and God bless.